Who really invented the rolling knife sharpener? One Take. Welcome to One Take Further. My name is Corley. If you enjoy this content, be sure to subscribe. Also, be sure to follow me on all social media platforms under the handle BoTheGoat TV. So before we get into this, I do want to kind of talk about my personal journey with knife sharpening. So I love whetstones, but to be honest with you, I'm not an expert using them. And the way I move in the kitchen, I need a solution that's fast, somewhat portable. I can get in and out if I need to sharpen my knife. So that sent me down this rabbit hole of rolling sharpeners. So Tumbler was actually the first rolling sharpener company that I actually came across. So I purchased a Tumbler, and to be honest with you, the early iterations of the early models of the Tumbler rolling sharpener, I was a huge fan of. So once I promoted this product though, there was a lot of chatter about who the originator of the rolling sharpener was. And if you're in the culinary space, I think that we can agree the best innovations in cooking have not been the original thing. It has been someone being inspired by the creator and coming out with a version of it. If you think about a pizza, imagine the guy who came up with a cheese pizza and then somebody added pepperoni, sausage, and a bunch of other toppings, and he said, well, I was the originator. That's not the way it should be done. On the topic of knife sharpeners, if you think about the first chef's knife, what if the guy who invented the chef knife told the Santaku guy that's not the original one? So before we get into this data, I do want to ask, especially my followers, because you know me, I love to keep an open mind. Do just that. Have an open mind. Understand that innovation is not a bad thing. And a lot of times, and I just got to be frank, with companies that I come across, and Tumbler is a good example, a fresh set of eyes and innovative energy often breeds a better product than the quote unquote original. But that being said, instead of spew a bunch of data at you guys, let's look at it together. All right, I'm still with you. I'm just up here top left. So based on the feedback that I received, Corley, right, was conveyed to me as to be the originator of the rolling sharpener. Go to their website, 2016, after several years of development, introduction of the first generation of Corley sharpeners, and launch of the web shops. And there was a stand set up at the Consumer Fair in Friedberg. So this was 2016. So this does say after several years of development. This is the Gen 1 Corley sharpener. S patent 24980188. You can look this up, but we're going to look at it together. And I want you to keep a name at the forefront of your mind, and that is Willis F. Thompson. I am going to make a statement, and I'm going to stand on it. Willis F. Thompson was the originator of the concept of the rolling sharpener. If we take a look at this patent, and I'm going to go ahead and expand this picture here, you can see this was his rolling sharpener. His design had the whetstone in the middle, and it kind of opened up. This is actually really cool. Date that this application was filed. It is June 26, 1948. The application is approved February 21st, 1950, with a lifetime expiration. Part I want you to pay attention to is figures 2 through 5. Figure 2 is a front elevation of the knife sharpener. Figure 3 is a cross vertical section of the knife sharpener shown in figure 2. Figure 4 is a side elevation of the interior of one of the rollers and associated parts. And figure 5 shows in cross section a detail of construction. And what's crazy about this patent is this patent actually references an earlier patent application for the same concept. The type of knife sharpener to which present invention relates is like that described in my co-pending application serial number 745610, which matured as patent number 2469797, issued May 10th, 1949, in which there is a set of rollers. Now, let me slow down when I say this part. Which there is a set of rollers and an abrasive element rotated by the free rolling of the rollers back and forth over a supporting surface when actuated by the blade of the knife as it is reciprocated during its sharpening. Ladies and gentlemen, the concept of the rolling knife sharpener was born in 1949. And there you go. So from an evidence perspective, the data is there. I mean, this is public information. The patent number is in the video. You can go back and read all this yourself. now that we've put that to bed, I think as consumers, especially if you're in the market for a sharpener like William invented, a rolling knife sharpener, for me, there's kind of three things that play into that decision: the product, the customer service, and the price point. This is just my personal views and why I ultimately decided to partner with Tumbler. Tumbler's innovation cycle is very fast. To be able to sharpen a 10, 15, 20, 25 degree blade, be able to swap out a 3,000 grit disc, a 6,000 grit disc, and stay under $400, that's the deal breaker for me. So when I look at the openness to innovate, and when I look at price point, and when I try your product and ultimately it serves my needs, when I get asked, what solution should you purchase for a portable, reliable, well thought out, backed by customer service product, my answer is going to be Tumbler. This whole who invented the rolling knife sharpener, who cares? The bigger question is, who's got the best rolling knife sharpener? One take.